everybody. Hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. Today is Sunday. Yes, today is, in fact, Sunday. I feel like my days are they're starting to run together, like into the weekend now, because, with being inside, it's hard to tell what day it is. But today is Sunday, May 24th, and it is Memorial Day weekend. So happy Memorial Day to all of our lovely listeners out there. Now, today's topic is entitled Holy Hell on a Vacation Package. I always want to say basket, but it's a vacation package. And essentially, I would have liked for this episode to be more of a submission episode where our listeners submit some of their worst vacation stories and why it was so bad. But it seems like a lot of our listeners don't seem to have any just traumatizing experiences on vacation, which we're very glad to hear about. So instead of going down the road of reading submissions, what we decided to do instead was post some poll questions on our Instagram and we did more of a would you rather game and see which of the options you thought were the lesser of the two evils. So we're going to be going over those questions and the results of those questions and just kind of having a casual conversation today. We're kind of taking it easy on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. But before we get into today's topic, we are going to go ahead and ask that you subscribe to the podcast, turn on your notifications. You won't want to miss any episodes because we are slowly but surely, well, it doesn't feel slow. I feel like it's actually happening pretty fast, approaching the end of our first season. So make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. And if you've missed any, feel free to take this time to go back and listen to all the episodes. And if you are all caught up, fantastic. Also, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as follow us on Instagram and TripAdvisor at HTAnywhere, as well as subscribe to our mailing list on our website at HTAnywhere.com. All right. So, hopping right into our topic today, like I said, these questions were posed on our Insta story at HTAnywhere. We put these on our Insta story and we wanted to hear from you guys. So, we entitled it, Would You Rather? The game, like, Would You Rather? But we said it was the terrible vacation edition. So, first question we have here is, would you rather have bed bugs or roaches? Now, personally, I think I would rather, I don't know, that's a hard one. I don't do bugs. I really don't do bugs, and I just feel like my mind wouldn't be able to rest knowing that I would have to pick either bed bugs or roaches. So that's a hard question for me, but if I did not have any other choice, I would rather have to deal with roaches in my hotel room than bed bugs. And 88% of our followers who answered this question agreed with me. 88% of people would rather have roaches, and 12% answered that they would rather deal with bed bugs. And those 12%, you guys must really hate roaches, because I could not imagine like sleeping and feeling something crawling on me, because I would just lose my mind, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't care what time it is in the middle of the night. I'd be like, it's time to go. We're leaving. Like, the roaches and the bed bugs, they can have all of this. Like, we don't have to take anything with us. I have to get out of here. So, but yes, roaches versus bed bugs, 88% said that they would rather have roaches in their room than bed bugs. Thankfully, I can say that I have not had to deal with any bug issues at any hotel or resort that I've ever stayed at. So, knock on wood, that will continue to be the case. All right, moving on to our next question, our posed question we had on our Insta story. Would you rather have bad food at a hotel or a resort, or like really, really cheap, just like burn your chest alcohol? So me personally, I would rather have really, really terrible alcohol at my resort or hotel, because I don't have to drink it. but I do need to eat every day. And as someone who has had like, well, I've had terrible food staying somewhere, but I've also had food poisoning. So if I had to choose between the two, I would rather just have bad alcohol because I don't really play about my food like that. I don't really play about my food like that. So 82% of our followers on Instagram who answered this question agreed with me that they would rather have bad alcohol, and 18% said that they would rather have bad food. Now, I mean, I get that 18%. I really do, because especially if you're at like an all-inclusive and you're a grown-up and, you know, you either don't have any kids or you left the kids at home, like you want to go and have a good time and be carefree and be grown, you know what I mean? So I get it, but that's hard. Bad alcohol is just, that's really terrible. But bad food is even worse. So I'd rather just not drink the alcohol and eat all the food I want. All right, moving on. Our next question, would you rather have bad, like, housekeeping, or would you rather have slow room service? This one for me, I've never had bad housekeeping. I've had like maybe here and there I'll be like, okay, like they need to come change these sheets, or, you know, just like me kind of, well, no, sheets are not nitpicky, but I have been like known to be a little nitpicky about certain things. But I've also had slow room service, and when you're hungry, I know for me anyway, like when I'm hungry, slow room service is like having someone pluck my eyelashes out one by one. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying to have slow room service, because the only time that we tend to get room service is because it's usually later in the evening and we're tired. Like, tired to the point where we're like, yes, we're so hungry, but we're so tired we don't feel like going to get the food. So please bring the food to us because we're so tired. So being that tired and hungry and having to wait on the food for a ridiculously long amount of time, you know what I mean? Like, that can be really annoying. But at the end of the day, I feel like I would rather have rather have slow room service than have bad housekeeping, because if my room is dirty, if my room at my hotel, my resort, anything, if my room is dirty, then it leads my mind to like think about other things. So like, oh my God, my room's dirty. That means my shower's dirty, my toilet's dirty, the bed's dirty. Maybe the kitchen's dirty. Maybe there's something in my food. Maybe every single fixture or chair in the lobby hasn't been cleaned ever. So like, my mind starts to really, really do some weird things if I have a dirty room in the resort or the hotel that I'm staying in. And 100% of our followers who answered this question agree with me that they would rather have slow room service than to have bad housekeeping. Because, I mean, just because the room service is slow doesn't necessarily mean that the food is bad. It just means that you're going to be waiting a really, really long time. Now, whether or not you're still hungry by the time you get that food, whether or not you're awake by the time you get that food, it's different. But, I mean, it may still actually be good. It's just going to take forever to get there. So, but our next question is, would you rather have, and to me, I feel like this applies more to the airport. So would you rather have a late check-in, like you yourself was late checking in at the airport, or would you rather have a delayed departure? Now, considering the fact that I've been in both situations, like our late check-in, well, the late check-in was totally our fault. We overslept. And we were trying to get back home from Canada. And honestly, it was just the longest morning ever, because it was like a 6 a.m. flight. And it was just a whirlwind of confusion and insanity. But we checked in late. We had to run. I've never run ever. I have never, ever, ever run through an airport outside of leaving Canada. And I'm pretty sure if you've listened to like some other episodes, I've probably like hinted or mentioned this scenario before. And it's because it was so intensely traumatizing, you guys. Like, so okay, quick side note for anyone who's wondering. If you travel to Canada and you're about to leave, so I know normally for us coming back to Atlanta internationally, like you get on the plane, you come and you go through customs in Atlanta. So once you leave the whatever country you're leaving from, like you just go through their regular TSA, and then when you get home, you go through customs. Canada is not like that, or at least it's not in Toronto, because even though we woke up late, we actually got through TSA pretty quickly, and we was like, okay, cool, like we got through TSA, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna make the flight. As soon as we got through TSA, we found ourselves in line for customs, and we was like, what? And of course it moved so flippin' slow, the customs line. And I was like, wait, like, why are we going through customs right now? Because we've never, ever had to go through customs in a country that we were leaving. So it was just, that really, really threw us off. So thankfully there were some nice enough people who let us go ahead and, you know, get in front of them, because literally, like, by the time we got through customs and we started making our way to the gate, they were doing a final call for our flight. And we were sprinting. Like, I have on jeans trying to sprint through an airport. And it's intensely uncomfortable. My jeans were actually, like, sliding off. And then, like, he's running in front of me. And I'm like, just keep going, just keep going. And I just, like, baseball dive, slide, fall in the middle of the floor. And he's, like, trying to check on me. And I'm like, just keep going, just keep going. All the while, you guys, like, I'm an asthmatic. So this much, like, work and running and breathing this early in the morning is just taking a toll on me. So long story short, two things. One, we did make the flight, thank God. And two, if you go to Canada, just be prepared to go through TSA and customs when you're coming back. So that was my little late check-in story. But I've also been, you know, in a delayed departure situation, which I'm sure all of us have. And they vary, like, you know, sometimes it's just the plane itself is delayed. Or I have actually been on a plane. I don't remember where we were going, but I've been on a plane, and I actually think we were going to New York. And we were waiting, of course, you know, early flight. We done got on. Okay, cool, we chilling. The doors are closed. And we're just sitting there. And we're like, what is taking so long? Y'all, how about we was on the plane waiting on the captain? We were on the plane, like, fully boarded, waiting on the captain to, like, come get on the plane. And I was like, wow. So we had at least, like, that was at least like a smooth hour, 15-minute, 20-minute delay. So, I mean, it's frustrating on either side, because I know when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. And I'm one of those people who, like, being early is being on time. So, like, being on time is being late, especially when it comes to traveling. So, if I have to answer this question, whether or not I would prefer to do late check-in or delayed departure, I think I would rather have to deal with a delayed departure, just because, you know, delayed departures are not, especially if you're going through an airport, are not usually the customer's issue. Like, it was nothing else that you could do to get around this delayed departure. Now, late check-in can totally be your fault. But delayed departure, I would rather deal with delayed departure. And of the people who answered this question on our Insta story, surprisingly, only 33% of people wanted to deal with a delayed departure. 67% of people who answered this question said that they would have rather dealt with a late check-in than a delayed departure. And I mean, that's cool. Listen, that is totally cool. I just personally couldn't do it. Like, I planned way too much prior to my vacations to be dealing with late check-ins. Like, it has to be literally an act of God, or, you know, obviously us oversleeping for there to be like a late check-in when I'm traveling. All right, next question. Would you rather have lost luggage or get the middle seat? Now, this one, I feel like I've been through all of these just about, but this one to me, like hands down, I knew that I would rather deal with being in the middle seat because nothing irks my nerves more than when my luggage gets lost. And honestly, my luggage has only been lost one time, like legitimately lost once. And it happened a really, really long time ago. Like I might have been like maybe 15, 16 years old and my luggage got lost and I was pissed. Like I remember distinctly being so angry that honestly, if I don't have to, I don't check my bag. And it doesn't matter if I'm staying stateside or I'm going out the country. If I can put all of my stuff, like whether it's 3 to 5 to 7 days worth of stuff in a carry-on bag, that's what I'm doing because I'm so scared that my luggage will get lost. And if it gets lost, especially like internationally, I'm just like, just throw the whole person away because it's a wrap for me. Like my nerves would be so intensely just terrible because I like my things and I have nice things. So I would like to keep my things with me when I'm traveling. So I would rather have the middle seat. And I've had the middle seat a lot actually, whether I'm traveling for work or for leisure. So, I mean, once you get there, it's done and over with. So it is what it is. But most of our people who answer this question agree with me. 81% of those who answered this question said that they would rather have the middle seat than deal with lost luggage. 19% of people said they would rather deal with lost luggage than have the middle seat. And, you know, I understand those 19%ers, like it's just stuff. You can always get your stuff back or, you know, go through the proper channels to find your luggage. But for me, I'm so impatient. Like I'm that person who like as soon as I hit like confirm order, I'm looking for like a tracking number. Like I'm really impatient. So having to go through those channels to find lost luggage would be like, I don't know, getting a tattoo on my eyeball that takes 30 minutes. Like I would just be so intensely irritated that I just put me in the middle. Like as long as I get there, my luggage get there, you could put me on top of the plane, below the plane, on the wing, in the middle, in the captain's pit. It don't matter. Just get my luggage there. So our last question that we posted on our Instagram, that funny enough, I actually got some DMs about this about this question. It was like, this is a hard question. Da, 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 da. So you guys tell me what you think. So would you rather be lost at sea or stuck in a jungle? Now, personally, to me, it's a no-brainer. I'd rather be stuck in the jungle. Like, just drop me off in the jungle. You know, there's plenty of shows on TV that tell you what to do if you, like, alone in the jungle or naked and afraid or whatever. Like, there's somewhere at some point, like, I saw this on TV. I could figure this out. But in my mind, like, if I get stuck in the ocean, I'm just like, I'm automatically just going to assume, like, this is how I die. Like, I'm either going to wait it out and die and, like, starve or something like that, or I'm just going to go ahead and make it quick and just hop in the ocean and either freeze or drown, because the ocean is so big. And one of the comments that I got about this question was like, well, you know, maybe we could just be lost at sea because eventually, you know, you'll get to land. I was like, that's one way to look at it, but because the ocean is so vast, especially if you don't know where you're going, the likelihood of you reaching a quote-unquote island or piece of land is so slim to none. Like, you're just in the ocean, honestly. If you get stuck in the ocean, you're just there. So you got to make a choice. Like, do you want to go now? Do you want to go later? How do you want to do this? Because it's coming. So personally, I would rather be stuck in the jungle than lost at sea. And 70% of the people who answered this question agree with me. 70% would rather be stuck in the jungle, and 30% said they'd rather be lost at sea. So good luck to you, 30%. You know, maybe you guys know something that I don't, but what I do know is that I'd rather be stuck in the jungle. So that was really fun, actually, after posting these questions and getting to see you guys' answers and opinions and messaging me about stuff. So that was really fun. So I hope this episode was more of an entertainment piece for you. You know, just something to kind of trigger some thoughts in your mind, and, you know, just something light and easy for, like I said, for this Sunday afternoon. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but of course, when we come back, we're going to get right into Keep the Money, Catch the Flight, Hotel High Life, Foodie AF, and Glow by The Glass. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking around after the break. Getting right into Keep the Money, Catch the Flight. All of the flight deals that we're bringing to you today are being brought to you by the Secret Flying app. Make sure you go ahead and download that. Again, that app is called Secret Flying. Now, if you're leaving New York, you can get to Cali, Colombia for $197 from September to February via Avianca Airlines. You can get from LA to Port Alegre for $408 from October to February via American Airlines. You can get from Boston to Casablanca, Morocco for $481 from November to January via Air Canada. If you're here in Atlanta, you can get to Lebanon for $552 from October to April via Qatar Airlines. And lastly but not least, if you're leaving New York and heading to London, you can get there for $242 from October to February via Air Portugal. Now, all of the prices provided are round trip, and the dates provided are validity dates, meaning that you will need to book your flights or vacation during that time in order for these prices to be valid. So, yeah. Once again, that is called Secret Flying. Check them out, download the app, and, you know, take off. Moving into hotel highlight. Today we're going to be highlighting the Club Quarters Hotel in San Francisco, California. This hotel is on Clay Street in San Francisco, and I stayed here last year in 2019. I want to say I went in June with a friend of mine. We stayed out there for literally, that was actually another one of my 24-hour trips. And if you want to hear more about how I spend 24 hours and vacation in just literally 24 hours, we do have an episode solely dedicated to that, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, I spent 24 hours in San Francisco with a friend of mine, and we stayed at Club Quarters Hotel. They have free Wi-Fi. They do have parking available in a garage. However, it is $34 plus tax per 24 hours, and that does not include in and out privileges. Or you can pay $45 plus tax per 24 hours that will include in and out privileges. All right, they do not include breakfast, but they do have an on-site restaurant, which is actually really good. They do have complimentary. This actually was something that I thought was really, really dope. I have never seen this in any other hotel that I've stayed in, and I don't know if it's like a regional thing or what, but this hotel in San Francisco provides complimentary unlimited bottles of water. Now, I'm sure you're thinking like, okay, it's just bottled water, like what's so great about it? Now, they have like these machines like in the lobby and on each floor where there's like bottles of water, and then there's like a water machine, and you know, you can literally just make your own bottle of water, and it's unlimited. You can get however many that you want, and I think it's really cool that they provide that. And of course, being green and eco-friendly, they highly encourage that you recycle those bottles once you're done. But I just thought that was really dope. Like, I had never seen that in any other hotel that I had ever been in. This hotel also provides a complimentary snack bar and refreshments down in the lobby, which is actually pretty vast for a refreshments and snack bar. They have some really good like candies and nuts, and I want to say they have drinks and stuff in there too, like sodas. So that was pretty dope. And for all of the grown-ups that are 21 and up, at 5 o'clock every day, they do have a wine hour or happy hour down in the lobby that you can participate in if you would like to. This hotel, overall, I had a great experience staying there. It is in the city of San Francisco, so you can kind of walk. Well, I won't say you can walk anywhere, but if you don't mind walking, you can get a lot of places. So I want to say we walked from our hotel, and we started off at Pier 39, and we walked there. And that wasn't too terrible of a walk. It might have been like 20, 25 minutes. I know some people are like, that's a long walk. But, I mean, we didn't, like, mind. We didn't have a car. And the best way to minimize costs when you are somewhere is to walk. So, I mean, or you could take public transportation, which we did eventually do. But, I mean, walking is good for you. Get your steps in. It's in a great location. Right in the city of San Fran, and it's a good starting point for wherever it is that you would like to go see. All right, moving right along into Foodie AF, we're going to be highlighting the Fish and Farm Mix. This was the hotel that was attached to the Club Quarters Hotel, and we had dinner there that night, and it was really good. I had like a risotto dish, and I want to say a glass of wine. And it was really good. I like the atmosphere in there. There's like a lot of wood seating, like big wooden booths. I just like the decor set up in there. It's really like calm and chill. And I guess maybe because it had been such a long day of walking and sightseeing that we were just ready to sit down and eat and eventually, you know, go to bed. But we really enjoyed it. Again, that's Fish and Farm Mix. They are the restaurant that is attached to the Club Quarters Hotel in San Francisco, California. And last but not least, Globe by the Glass. Today's drink, I personally have never heard of, but it sounded good when I read it. It's called Pisco Punch. How you make that, you need 2 ounces of Barso Primero Pisco. I've never even heard of that. All right, 2 ounces of Dole pineapple juice, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, pineapple chunks, and garnish with a cherry. That sounds really fruity. I might actually try to make that if I can find Pisco, because I've never heard of Pisco. But yeah, try that out. Let us know what you guys think about it in our comments, whether it's on YouTube or on the podcast, on Apple Podcasts, on Buzzsprout, on Spotify, all of our podcast outlets. Let us know what you guys think. All right, so that is all I have for you for today. Like I said, I hope today's episode provided you some thought-provoking questions to think about, as well as a little bit of entertainment. Now, next episode is called TSA VIP. Now, this is going to be super, super informational for all of my people out there who either fly a lot or you have some questions about, you know, what's so great about TSA PreCheck, or what is clear, what is global entry. So we're going to be going over all of that in our next episode. Again, that's going to be entitled TSA VIP, where we are going to give you a VIP quote-unquote tour of the ins and outs, pros and cons, and how-tos of TSA PreCheck, clear, and global entry. So make sure that you stick around for that in our next episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Be sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast and turn on your notifications. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets, from TripAdvisor to YouTube to Instagram at HTAnywhere. And we will see you all next time. Thank you guys again, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.